Hey, I'm Mike Bard. I'm going to set up some Zooms over the next week here to talk to some of my colleagues about doing virtual research and attending virtual conferences. Over the last year, we've all been stuck in this situation. Everything's become virtual, no more in person. Fortunately for us at KS&R, we've been doing virtual research for years, and we've even done some virtual conferences here and there when necessary. So this wasn't brand new to us. There's certainly some things we like, some things we don't like, and we miss about in person. And hopefully we'll have a few tips to share too. Let's see what everyone has to say. Thanks.
I think it's really been a lot more accepting now, right? While we have done it virtually for a long time, now it's kind of almost the starting point as opposed to an option. And I think right now also the compression, speed notion, which may be just due to the pandemic, but we are definitely compressing our cycles as to how quickly we can pull off a project with virtual tools, whether it be bulletin boards or a Zoom call or even the IDIs. So I think those things have all been good. Turns up the heat a little bit, obviously, makes things a little harder, but we can certainly move through the process more quickly with the virtual as opposed to hopping on planes or driving to facilities.
I think in the B2B environment in particular, that group camaraderie type thing I miss. So we do a lot of groups in the technology market with business executives and IT execs, and we know that they come to our groups just because they anticipate a very interesting topic and a lot of sharing and a lot of opportunity to network even after the group is over. We lose a little bit of that dynamic. I lose a little bit of incentive for them to participate. They don't get quite as much of that.
The amount of tools that are out there now has increased tenfold, right? To be able to do these sessions and to collaborate within the session. So using whiteboard tools and things like that out there. I mean, we have so many more options now out there, which is great. That being said, it still doesn't completely replace the in-person experience. So I think they've made great progress, but there are still room for improvement in making it better experience for the consumer or understand and be able to hand back handouts or anything else there. So I think there's opportunities there to get better, but I do think that it's already increased so much over the last year because that need was realized. And so there are other platforms to use and other ways to collaborate.
Sure.
Yeah, I would add on to that. I think, as many tools as we can use to try to mimic the live experience would be helpful, right? Like we do a lot of things that we're handing out physical materials to people, we're doing activities, we're having them circle things or cross out things or highlight things while we're in a session with them. That some things you can only do when you're in person, but like Brian said, I think there are tools out there now that we could start using and try to mimic that live experience as much as we can.
Next up here is with Patty Traynor and Michelle Roderick-Lee. They have both recently presented at the Intellis conference. So I want to talk to them today a little bit about their experience with virtual conferences.
One really nice feature was that we had our own booth, and there were designated times that the booth was open, and we had a live Zoom link. So our team members kind of split it up over the course of the conference and sat in the Zoom meeting. It was a live meeting for people to come in as they could to interact with us. So I really love that feature. And I love the feature too, that within the platform, you can send an email to people that you wanted to connect with, whatever message you wanted to set up, you could do that, and you could actually automatically schedule the meeting within the platform. So that made it really easy to facilitate some of those conversations.
I think whether you're attending only and or presenting, my best tip would be just to plan ahead. Don't click the link for the first time 15 minutes before the conference starts. All of those great features that Patty just mentioned, you won't know about until you go into the platform and explore. So you can see who else is coming, what other topics are being presented. You can build your own agenda, block your work calendar accordingly, and just, figure out who's coming, what you might want to connect with them on and what your talking points are.
For one, I mean, we've even done little polls on this at some of the speaking events I've done. People really love not having to dress up, and the fact that you can do everything right from the privacy of your own home. So that's nice when you want to have that immediacy of the interaction. So from that perspective, it's a lot more convenient for a lot of people.